What up, guys? We're back here with Oktoberfest beer number 4 for the year, and we are getting into Founders Oktoberfest. And in case for any of you guys keeping track, so far we got 3 beers spelling Oktoberfest the OK version, and then we have Sam Adams spelling it OC. So, whatever. We'll see if anybody else spells it that way. But this is their German-style Märzen, and yeah, here we'll crack it open. It's a nice festive can. This is their 2021 edition. I feel like it reminds me, I think that's about what the can looked like last year. And to be perfectly honest, I like it, but there's something about that traditional blue that just, I'm a fan of the blue. But okay, let's pour all that in. The first can of the year, and we're accidentally breaking bottles like we did the last one. And let's see, these specs are 6% ABV and 20 IBUs. 20 seems to be about the IBU. Between 15 and 20 seems to be about, you know, what it is for all the beers that have listed it. And 6% is a little on the higher side. But yeah, all right, let's get into the review, get into the smell. The first thing the first whiff I got was like that wet, doughy aroma that you get in some of the, I don't know, sometimes you find it in cheaper Pilsner lagers, but it's like that subtle funk, a little bit of that. Got like a light toast aroma, but like the crust of the toast, not the bread, the actual crust, toasted crust. There's a bit of a sweetness element to it. Like a robust sweetness, like a deeper caramel molasses kind of thing. It's not sugary. There's a lot of things going on. It all pretty much seems to fit in that Oktoberfest kind of realm. But it's a little different from some of the other ones I've had, or I've had so far this year. And so I'm going to recommend it on smell. Now, let's get into the taste. This seems to have a more robust maltiness to it than all the other ones I've had so far. It's very kind of oaky. Not so much smoky, there's a hint of that charcoal, a dab, but not the charcoal aspect isn't as pronounced as it has been in some of the other ones. It's more of that kind of oaky wood taste to it. There is some, I was going to say, you almost taste that alcohol. Even though the alcohol isn't super high, it's only 6%, there's something in there where, you know, at least my brain connects with, this is going to be a higher alcohol content. It's subtle, but it's in there. You get that very toasted biscuit kind of taste to it. That wet, doughy aroma that I was picking up initially, it's not really to be found anywhere with drinking it. There is almost a hint of a cereal. I do pick up more of that cereal grain aspect to it. Now, there's almost like a corn element to it, and I don't think there's any corn in this, but there is a bit of that going on. And a lot of the sweetness kind of fades away. It's definitely not pronounced. There's a dab of maybe a bit of a molasses kind of going on, but it's not a lot. Bitterness is very minimal. To me, it almost tastes like you take the Sam Adams version and you ratchet up. You make it the maltiness more intense. You give it more of that like charred woodiness to it. You just elevate it. It's almost like the Sam Adams is the safer version of this. So for me, if you like the Sam Adams Oktoberfest, but you want more, you want like a more malt forward. You want more of that malty aspects to it, because the Founders is kind of, it's nice, but it doesn't go overboard with that. This feels like they took a very similar recipe and just elevated it up, cranked it up. But yeah, not very sweet at all. It feels like if they would have gone any further with some of these ingredients, you're getting into that almost malt liquor. Like, it could get there. I could see you making the jump from this to a malt liquor Oktoberfest, which would be kind of interesting. You know, King Cobra Oktoberfest. But I do wish there was a bit more of a sweetness to it. I think that would pair nicely with the level of just kind of charred and woody aspects to it. But I think it tastes fine, especially if you're into that kind of thing. Just the woody, that kind of maltiness. I'm gonna recommend it on taste. I don't know if the light keeps screwing around. I think it's the light behind me. So I apologize for the screen. It's going like lighter, darker, lighter, and there it goes. But yes, I'm gonna recommend it on taste. Value for price, it was like $2, and Founders by now is pretty much everywhere. So I'm assuming you can find this wherever you're at. I was just at the Founders Brewery a couple weeks ago. Never been there. It's one of the brewery reviews that I'm waiting on to be able to download. But gotta admit, there's a pretzel in there. I feel like I Founders shouldn't be praising their pretzels. But I don't know. Stay tuned for that brewery review. But value price, $2. It's not technically a craft or independent beer anymore, but still a fair price. I'm not recommending value price. Next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And honestly, the aroma, when I first cracked open the aroma, I thought that was a little more distinct. It had a little more things going on than a lot of the other three that I've had so far this year. But once I got into the taste, a lot of those extra smells kind of just went away. And it was very much kind of, it was almost a one-sided Oktoberfest beer. You had more of the earthy wood, charred biscuit kind of thing. There wasn't any sweetness, very, very minimal sweetness. And I feel like I could have used a little bit of it. But, I mean, for distinction, it's very much an Oktoberfest beer. It doesn't taste like, they're kind of just making it up and throwing it in. I don't think Founders tweaks their recipe. I think it is what it is. It's pretty much what you're going to get every single year. I wouldn't really say it's distinct. Nothing's really separating it, but it also doesn't suck. And that's the first way to distinct your beer, and not a great way, is to make your Oktoberfest beer trash. So I'm going to give it a half. It's not setting itself apart really, but it's not terrible. So, yeah. Next category is drinkability. I mean, there's more drinkable beers that are 6%. This tastes like it could almost be higher. This tastes, I just had the Great Lakes, and that was like 6.2 or 3. No, it might have been 6.4. I don't know, it was in the 6s. And this one tastes like the alcohol content would be higher. just from what my brain connects with higher alcohol kind of stuff. This tastes like it should be higher. It doesn't drink poorly. This is one you could probably have a couple of, but probably not. It's not a quick drinker. They're all, once we get into the fest style Oktoberfest beers, the ones that are a little lighter than the Märzen styles, those are probably going to be a little more crushable. This one, again, you can drink it, probably a little slower, but so I'm gonna give it a half in drinkability. It's fine, but not like, yeah. You'll drink it and then just kind of. I feel like this is a solid fall beer once the weather gets colder. But I don't think the past October, like really into it. Once you hit October, the beers are gonna start disappearing. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a half. And last category is where I buy it again. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. It's fine. Crazy enough, after 4 Oktoberfest beers, I'm thinking the Sam Adams is still kind of my go-to, which is crazy. But we're kind of going with the as mass-produced as you can get. Founders is about as mass-produced without being a macro. But probably not. Again, Oktoberfest is such a limited release window that you got to pick and choose. And I think really right now, I'd go with Sam Adams. It's cheaper. I think it's smoother, and so yeah. I mean, I wouldn't not buy it again. I guess say that. So I think this is gonna be another half kind of thing. I wouldn't have any I'm not gonna buy that again. But it's not on the top of my list. But anyways, that is my review of Founders Oktoberfest German-style Märzen. What do you think of this one? Have you had it yet? Are you very anti-Founders after what's happened in the last couple of years? Or, it's just they still make quality beer, so I'll have it. But let me know in the comments. Subscribe, do all the good stuff. I'm not seeing if there's anything new that I missed in the label. There is... here you go. Drink responsibly. They don't serve Founders in the clink. I like that. It's a nice little warning. But anyways, that's the review. Subscribe, do all the good stuff. And so for myself and for Founders Oktoberfest, take it easy.